Welcome to the Silk Road. In this video, we're going to tackle a question that comes up a lot every summer, which is how to season a steak using a dry rub. So what I've done is broken the process down into 4 steps, and I hope this makes things easier next time you get tasked with grilling duty. So the first step is preparation. You're going to start by taking your steak out of the fridge a little bit before you want to cook it, sort of 20 to 30 minutes-ish. And at about the same time, you're going to start heating up your pan or grill at very high heat. And we're going to come back to the reasons for doing both of those things in a second. Next, you want to take all of the surface moisture off of your steak. And the easiest way to do this is just to pat it dry on both sides with a paper towel. And the reason you want to do this is that the surface moisture will interfere with getting a good sear on your steak when it comes into contact with your really hot pan or grill. Now we're ready to start seasoning. For this steak, we're going to use Old Chicago Steak Spice, which is a blend we developed at the Silk Road that just helps make your steak taste like a really great steak. So it's got some salt and black pepper for basic seasoning, and then a little bit of garlic, onion, and citrus just to take the flavor up a little bit without interfering with the natural flavor of the beef. And we have some hickory smoke powder to help enhance the grill flavor, and a little bit of sugar, and what that will do is caramelize when the steak comes into contact with that really hot pan. Of course, you can use any kind of dry rub you want. Some, like our Saint Laurent Steak Spice or Sharp Wolf Barbecue Rub, are designed to add a lot more flavor to the meat than Old Chicago is. But no matter what type of rubber you're using, it's important to apply it liberally to both sides. And then once you've done that, what you want to start doing is massaging the rub gently into the meat with your fingers. And it's actually really handy to use the edges of the steak to pick up any excess rub that's fallen onto the plate or board you're working on, because you want the edges seasoned too. And this is part of the reason we've taken the steak out of the fridge a little bit early, because now the spices are in contact with the meat, they have a chance to start penetrating and giving it really great flavor before we put the steak on to cook. Okay, now that your dry rub has had some time to work and your pan's come up to heat, it's time to get your steak cooking. So we're going to begin by oiling your pan or your grill with a neutral oil that has a fairly high smoke point. And the reason you want that is that your pan or grill by this point is really, really hot. And if you're dealing with an oil like extra virgin olive oil, there's lots of compounds in that break down over high heat, that release flavors that aren't terribly desirable, and it would be tragic if you ended up with a burnt flavored steak because of your oil. Alright, now that our pan is oiled, we're going to lay the steak into the pan, laying it away from us for safety. And now it's time just to let the steak cook. At this point, if you're using the grill, you're just going to want to leave your steak alone, because that's what's going to give you great grill marks, giving the heat and the rub time to do its work. I also leave my steak alone when I'm cooking in a pan like this just to get a great sear on it, and you're going to see why in a second when I come and flip this over. You're going to have some really great dark brown caramelization, which is what you're going for. So now that the steak is cooked to your liking, it's time to pull it off the pan or grill and let it rest. And the idea behind resting a steak is this. During cooking, the heat of the pan forces all the juices from the edges of the steak into the center. Giving the steak time to rest in a warm place allows the temperature of the steak to become more constant and the juices to redistribute throughout the steak, giving you a more juicy steak and less juices lost on your plate or board. And now that you've been very patient, it's time to cut into your steak and enjoy. Thanks so much for watching.